As a real estate investor, one of the first big decisions you're going to need to make is choosing a market. And my personal advice to you is to look broad, quickly assess the pros and cons of each market, and then start to narrow down quickly. I ultimately suggest that you diversify as a real estate investor, but for purposes of your first couple deals, I really suggest you just try to stick to one market and master it. Looking everywhere is just going to spread your time thin. You're going to end up with a portfolio with different problems, different rules, different regulations across the country. Instead, look at the economic data and trends of a specific market that you're interested in. Learn it well and learn its ticks and behavior. Is the population immigrating in? Are people leaving? What infrastructure and spending is going there? What major economic drivers, employers, growth opportunities are there? Dive into the data rather than the emotion. Once you've chosen this market, then you want to take it down to a smaller level. You want to pick neighborhoods. Typically, I look at neighborhoods based on their proximity to employers, education, schooling, transit, and I look at the tenant profile that I'm looking to find. Then I start to dive into the asset itself. Do I want a house, a suited house, duplex, fourplex, triplex? Am I looking for land or a property? Ultimately, that's going to decide what type of asset I want. Once I know what type of asset I want, then I'll connect with a local realtor in the area and I'll start to narrow it down even more, because they're going to know once we get out of the academic and we start getting to the practical of that market, that's where they come in. If you need a good realtor in any market, feel free to reach out to me. I'll do my best to find one for you. I don't necessarily know everyone in the country, but I'll do my best to reach out to the people I know and trust to find someone that you can. And ultimately, I do suggest interview. You want to be cautious, pick your professionals carefully. Because if you work with someone who's going to focus on selling you rather than helping you, it's not going to go well long term. And ultimately, I suggest that you look for someone that you feel you can trust above all else. I think that is the most important thing. But once you found your realtor and you start narrowing it down to the deal, I suggest you look through every deal that's presented to you through the lens of what your why is. And is this going to move you towards your goals in a practical and reasonable way? Personally, don't think cash flow is everything. It's okay to look at a negative cash flow property as long as you have a plan to solve that negative cash flow and you're in a situation where you can deal with it during a period of time. I'll give you an example. If you buy a property that's $300 a month negative cash flow, that's going to work out to roughly $18,000 over 5 years. You can hold the property for that period of time and then stretch the mortgage back out. This then lowers the monthly payments. Even if rents do not rise and interest rates do not drop, you can remedy that cash flow situation and make it at least neutral. The problem is, do you have the time to do this? And that's why the plan is so important for looking at different solutions and options. But I don't want to get too far off the track. At the end of the day, if you have any questions about choosing a market or if you need any introductions to professionals, just give me a shout. Happy to help you through this.